Hello, my name is Bill Winters and I'm the Vice Chair for Region 58. I'm going to show you some electronic versions of some of the forms that the region will be providing to you. Our first is the ballot sheet. There is one official ballot sheet per item that needs to be voted upon. Each local is responsible to duplicate a sufficient number of the official ballots for each member of your local. Next is the pre-printed roster submission form. You will get one of these and you will need to staple this to your roster once you do your tally at the end of the election. The next form is the building tally sheet. For each building in your district, you will need one of these tally sheets. And finally, your local association tally sheet. You will need one of these for your entire local. Once you are ready to begin, election chairs or presidents should prepare packets for each building. A packet should contain one ballot for each member in that building, plus additional ballots for spoilage. You should also have a pre-printed signature roster for each type of ballot. For example, if you had two elections going on, one for the IEA-RA and one for a region officer, you would need two separate sheets like this. The local association president or designee shall provide each building representative with the current roster of eligible voters to ensure that only eligible members vote. Membership chairs or presidents should ensure that each name on the roster is a current member. On the screen is an example of the roster for one of the schools in my local. You can see the employee names are on the left, the school is in the middle, and the space for the full signature is on the right. At the top of each sheet, it should note what is being collected for the ballot, the day, the local, and the building. Members must sign their full signature and are not allowed to initial the roster list. They should sign upon receiving their ballot. If members are at more than one building throughout the day or separate days of the week, please make sure that their name is on each building list.
Welcome to part 2 of Region 58's election training. So it's a couple days before the election and you should have now received your election packets. You should receive a packet, one for each ballot. The packet will have a pre-printed roster on it. This is an example of one that's already done, so yours will be blank with no signatures. Inside the packet, you will have a pre-printed submission form that you will staple on the outside when done. And then also inside, you will have all copies of your ballots, and you will have a building tally sheet that you will use to tally up all the votes when you are done. Okay, so here's an example of one that's already done also. What you'll notice is that the ballots are two different colors, which we highly recommend as best practices because this will make it easier for you running your election, and then also when you are tallying, and for the region when we are confirming the ballots. So now it's election day, so how does your election setup look? Well, you will have two separate rosters here if you have two ballots, and then you will have your separate ballots. Again, they are different colors. You also want to have some pens available, and then you want to have a secure place for the ballots to be placed. You can use a box for them to put the ballots in once they are voted. We advise against envelopes because that leaves your ballots open for security risks. So we will demonstrate a mock vote. Hi Dave, are you here to vote for our election?
I am, Janelle.
All right, what I'm gonna have you do is sign your full signature, no initials, on each ballot. Okay. Thank you. And then what you want to do is, as you are handing out the ballots, you initial the back of the ballot. Here's ballot 1, and here is ballot 2. You may go over there and cast your vote, please. If there's space for write-ins, you may write somebody in. Okay, and
Can I
then,
put them in the
yep,
box?
fold your ballot and place it in that box, please. Thank you for voting today.
Thank you.
Now, members who do not vote must have their names left blank next to the signature roster. Also, if you notice this space is blank, also, members may not write their own name in on the bottom of a signature roster, but if they are somebody who travels between buildings and perhaps they were left off from a building, you who are running the election may yourself write that person's name in and initial next to their name, showing that you as the building rep added that person on, and then they may add their signature. Now, another thing is that if a member looks at the ballot and asks, I don't want to vote for anyone, they may cast what is called a blank ballot. To cast a blank ballot, a member would simply follow the same procedures. They would sign their full name, and then the person running the election, you would initial the back of the ballot, hand it to the voter, and it's their right to fold it and turn it in the box themselves blank. That is what we consider a cast blank ballot. When you're tallying the votes at the end, you know that it is a cast ballot because it has the initials on the back. When you have the vote is ended and you have all these extra ballots left, they should have no initials on the back. You will turn in these extra ballots to the region office. Okay, this is a great example. All of them are in here, and it says extra ballots. Okay, please do not mix them together with the rest of your ballots, especially sometimes people will put initials on them ahead of time, which do not do that because they may get mixed up with your cast blank ballots. Okay, so extra ballots, blank ones, no initials on the back, go in a separate envelope. And we will show you how to do those tallying of your votes in part 3 of our video.
Welcome to part 3 of our elections video. So the election's taken place and you are ready to tally your vote. This would first be done by the building reps who ran the election. So you have your signature rosters in front of you and you have your votes from the ballot box. The first thing that you want to do, you have your building tally sheet. The first thing you would fill out the top part of your sheet. So let's say I am, just for example, doing this for my local Addison District 4. So the school district number, I'm doing it for my building, Indian Trail, junior high school, it's Addison District 4, and then the local number is 5802. So this number you will find on your ballot form. If you're not sure of this, you can just leave this blank. And then you fill out your name. If there should be 2 people, so you can put both of your names here. And then you want to put your contact information here. So if we have any questions while we're double checking your information, we are able to contact you. So you want to count the number of people who signed your voter list, the number of signatures. So on here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures. This is an example list. The NEA delegate election. This is a tally sheet for the NEA election. So there are 5 on here, and then you sign this, and then you're ready to just count just general ballots. So here are the ballots. So I'm going to count, and this is valid ballots. So I'm just going to look at if they are valid or not. So this one has 2 votes. You can vote for no more than 2 on this one. So 2 votes. This is valid. So that's 1. This one's valid. That's 2. Okay. This one's valid. They have 1 here, 1 write-in. That's 3. Okay. This one, they voted for no one. So that is considered a cast blank one. This one, they voted for, checked all the boxes. So this would be considered spoiled. So I'm going to write spoiled across it. Okay. And that's, there's 5 total though. So there are 3 valid. There's 1 cast blank. And there's 1 spoiled. And then total ballots, 3, 4, 5. Okay. What's very important is that this number and this number match. If your total number of ballots and your total signatures on your sheet do not match, then your entire election for this NEA representative assembly can end up being spoiled altogether. Because we would there's more details that would go into that, which you would turn it in and then talk to the region officers, election committee, and we would discuss if the entire election would need to end up being spoiled. So now we can go on and do the actual candidate tally. So this one was blank. This individual vote was spoiled. And then we would write down the candidate's name. And again, this is just, I made up a fake ballot just for demonstration purposes. And they have, I'll do a tally here, 1 on a mark. Okay, a little tally. Then we have another one for Addison. Just do another tally. Michelle Williams, trying to go fast here. A little tally. And then another one for Addison, and another one for Michelle. Okay, and then you can put the total. Okay, and then you would turn this building 1 in to your local election person for your individual building, and then the local election person would do this same process for all the buildings on the local tally sheet. It's for all buildings. They go through all the ballots from each building again to verify, and they verify each building with what each building did on their building form, make any changes if they found any mistakes, and then fill out this overall local tally sheet. You will want to make a copy of your local tally sheets and your building tally sheets, and then your signature rosters before turning in the originals you'll turn in all originals to the region for region run elections. So now you will take all of this. Okay, here's the blank ballots. These will get turned in, no signatures on the back. These will get turned in a separate envelope. So you will take your voted ballots with the initials on the back, the tally forms. You will put them in an envelope. And then you will take the signature roster and then this pre-printed signature form. Okay, and you will turn that in then. So there's your tally process, and you will repeat the same thing for your other type of tally. Again, you can see it's two different colors. That just makes it easier to keep everything nice and organized. So you're doing the right type of tally on the right type of building form on the right type of ballot. If you have any questions, please let us know.